Aren't you tired of boring and predictable podcasts? Remember the movie Groundhog Day? Ugh. The only thing predictable about this show is that we're guzzling booze. Count on it. This is the Appleboys podcast. Appleboys.us. If it's NFTs, music festivals, sporting events, strip clubs, current events, or masturbation techniques. Did I read that right? There's more than one? Fueled by, but not sponsored by, Miller Lite. This is the Appleboys podcast. Now your hosts, Josh, Cory, Rob, and Jimmy. Rob has issues. Just saying, bro.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Appleboys podcast. I'm Josh. I'm here with Cory. What's up, Cory?
Hello, Josh. I'm Cory.
We got Rob here. What's up, Rob?
Hey, it's Rob.
Hey, Rob, are you impeded this week? Year?
What is
525,600 minutes?
I am unimpeded.
Unimpeded?
Unimpeded.
Are you spiky?
No? What
Horny?
does that mean? Oh, I see.
Just one.
Just
No.
an adjective?
No,
Just-
it's
just-
kind of,
You're just unimpeded?
yeah.
Invigorated.
No, the girlfriend's out of town, so my wiener don't work.
Ooh.
She,
Is that how that
she took
works?
it with him.
She, yeah.
She took
Actually,
okay.
so it's so funny that you brought this up. Sorry that we're interrupting your intro, Jimmy, but this
I'm
is
not even
important.
here yet. It's fine.
So on her way out, I was like, hey, I need to borrow your tits.
How'd that work out for you?
I was like, just leave them here. I'll take good care of them. You can have them back when you get back.
Did she leave them?
No.
Are they in the bedroom right now?
Negative. And we talked about, like, briefly about, like, how nice that would be if you could just detach, like, here, take this with you on a trip and just use my cock. And I just thought that would be, just a nice thing to have,
What's up, Jimmy? How are you?
Hey, it's I don't know. It's Jimmy. Hey.
All right.
So,
I don't know how to follow that up.
So Robert,
Yes, sir.
Sam Kinison had a whole thing about that, about getting married. You ever watch
Really?
any of his stand-up?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, he said that when you get married, thank God that thing's attached, because she'd just look at you and be like, you don't need that anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think if she could, she would I think she would probably take it with her.
And then he also brought up the fact that, like, boys' trips are never going to be the same, because he's like, yeah, no, guys, I can't go to Vegas. No, it's just not going to work. She's got my dick, okay?
She's got it. She's got it locked up. I can't do it.
Okay, I'll ask her. Hey, honey, all the other fellas, they said that their wives are letting them bring theirs.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, guys, she said no fucking way.
That's great. Do you guys, have you listened to Rodney Carrington?
Yes, I saw him like a couple years ago.
Did he do the Dear Penis song?
Yes, of course he did.
Dear Penis, I don't think I like you anymore.
Josh is singing early in this one.
You used to watch me shave. Now you do is stare at the floor.
Yep.
Dear Penis. All right. Cory,
Josh.
last week we were recording, and toward the end of the night, you began telling us about your Washington, D.C. trip.
Yeah.
But by the time we got to that point of the evening, things had devolved a bit.
It had unraveled a little bit, yeah.
It
And
happens.
during the editing process, we discovered that none of that content was usable.
Okay.
And
Is we you?
we is me, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What
more or
happened
less.
with the content?
I mean,
It
when
was-
Rob gets drunk, Rob just spouts nonsense.
I'll tell you what happened with the content.
Rob's fault. Got it.
All right. Imagine in your mind the career evolution of Britney Spears.
Oh.
That's how the podcast went.
Wait, so is he like recovered now and like released from his chains?
No. We stopped around the time when he was sitting in the car with a shaved head trying to bite reporters.
Oh.
It could not have been that bad.
We have not yet rescued Britney
Got it.
from her conservatorship.
I I don't think it was that
He
bad.
was reviewing it sober, so I think he has a pretty good opinion.
It's true.
Josh has very selective abilities to cut, though. Like certain things, I'm like, why'd he cut this? And other things, I'm like, why'd he leave that in?
That's fair. That's fair.
I think I'm a good judge of cutting. Like Papa Roach.
Ah, I see.
The story, though, started out great. Like, it sounded like you had a really good time in D.C. You were telling us that there was a combination of things. You said that you had a friend that you'd known for a really long time that he'd been living in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Had just recently moved back to D.C., so the trip up there was an excuse to see him.
Yeah.
And you were primarily going for a concert, right?
Yeah, no, Tool is my favorite band, and they're out on tour again for the first time since COVID. And the closest stops were D.C. and like Columbus, Ohio or something. And I don't fucking know anybody in Columbus, Ohio. I don't really need to go there for anything. So I said, hey, man, is it cool if I like crash on your couch for a few days? We can go see Tool. And he was like, fuck yes, because he too is also a big Tool fan. So I bought a plane ticket up there because I'm not going to fucking drive.
Obviously.
And I'm a larger fella. Those of you that tuned into the live stream saw that. I don't fit in chairs very well. So flying is a
Posted
challenge.
that yet?
It's posted on the website for premium subscribers. Jimmy brought this up, so I'm sorry to interrupt you, Cory, but
Yeah, no, you're good.
I found out that Patreon does not actually allow you to upload videos. You have to link to Vimeo or YouTube and embed it.
Oh.
And
We can unlist it on YouTube and post it.
you can, yeah. So may do that at some point, but
Okay.
unlisted doesn't make it private. So if somebody has the link, they can access it. So
Right.
I'm working through the logistics on that, but everyone who's a Patreon subscriber has access to the premium content on our website. So if you go to appleboys.us and log in with your email address, you'll be able to access the video.
Tried that out a few days ago. Pretty sweet website.
Yep, we redesigned it, but we'll talk about that later.
Big facelift there. Tell you what.
Oh, yeah.
Should really go check it out.
Runs faster too,
Ooh, like the $6 million website. Better, faster, stronger.
like
Harder.
Kanye.
He had the technology. Anyway, so if you subscribe and you watch the video, you'll see I'm a portly fella, and planes are not made for people like me anymore. So I was kind of terrified to fly coach, and for me, it was like an extra, I think it was like an extra $100 each way to fly first class. So I was like, yeah, I'm fucking do that.
Obviously.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah, no, like $200. I don't give a shit about that.
Yeah.
That's fine. So highly recommend it. Number one, it's like a whole different world up there.
Is it?
Yeah, extra leg room, wider seats, leather.
Anyone famous up there?
No.
Oh.
They also give you drinks like very early in the flight, and they keep giving you more drinks.
So I very clearly heard over the pilot intercom that alcohol was not allowed to be consumed by federal law because of so many of the MAGAs freaking out about their masks and stuff and getting drunk on the planes.
Oh.
But
Is that what they said?
well, not specifically. They said
Did they call them MAGAs?
That would have been fantastic. This is your captain speaking.
Based on a recent federal law adjustment, you are not allowed to drink alcohol if you are wearing a Let's Go Brandon hat.
Thank Brandon for that one.
Or literally anything that's red.
You gotta get the us in there. On the flight back home, the guy next to me ordered rum and cokes, and they just kept giving him rum and cokes, and I was like, "What the fuck? That's allowed?" But I was too late. I did not receive.
They're
any
very
alcohol on the
free.
plane. Yeah, I'm real pissed off because I really wish I could have maximized my first class
Yeah. No kidding.
exposure.
I
But,
fell off of a plane once.
What?
What the fuck?
I
Oh,
Well, you got to tell
Different-
that story, right?
Different
Yeah.
story.
no.
I mean, we can come back to Cory. Let's
yeah,
talk
we
about
have
that.
to
Yeah,
elaborate
like-
on that.
No,
How
we
the
got
fuck do you
to.
fall off a plane?
Well, I didn't like fall off in midair while
Right.
we were flying.
Obviously, that would be
Sure.
a miracle.
You wouldn't be here.
Correct. But
What happened with this plane?
Yeah, Josh seems very embarrassed about this one.
Was it like an escape situation?
no,
Was it like a Joe Biden going up to Air Force One kind of situation, or
I was on my way back from a work trip, and I had a layover in Dallas. And in Dallas, there was bad weather or mechanical issues or something happened that caused the plane to like be decommissioned for the evening. And They were working on getting us on another flight, and they got us all routed to another flight. So we had to go to the other side of the DFW airport.
Dallas Fort Worth.
Yep. And we had to get to the gate area, and they got us all like seats reassigned and things like that. And they did this thing. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever been in a situation before where flights are like way oversold because of cancellations or redirected flights or anything like that. But when they have too many people to go on a plane, they'll start off by saying, "Attention, would anybody like to delay their flight? We can offer a $100 flight credit toward a future flight purchased within the next 30 days.
I did that one time, and it was $600 to go the next day. And
Well,
I was like, hell yeah, let's go.
They start at $100, and then, like, nobody's fucking biting, right? And then they steadily escalate until they get to the dollar amount that it takes to get somebody to take it. And there's always a dollar amount when somebody's going to take it, right?
It's like an auction.
Yeah. But like in reverse, where they're paying you,
Right.
or you're the merchandise, maybe.
I think it's the society we've set up.
Is this like
We're the merchandise.
people trafficking?
No.
Is that not how that works?
No.
They are diverting traffic, and the people are the traffic.
It's Dallas
That's what
Fort
I'm
Worth,
saying.
man, not Greenville,
I
Mississippi.
think Rob's onto something.
All right. You might be right. I might have been trafficked one night. But the situation was
Okay.
they got up to like $600 in flight credit plus a like $60 bar voucher. And I was starting to be like, I could spend the night in DFW. And I decided to hold off because I needed to get home. I had things to do back home, and it was going to be pretty inconvenient to miss the flight because I was going to have to arrange for people to come over and take care of my pets and stuff like that because I hadn't done that up until that point. But anyway, I passed on the $600 and $60 in drink credits, and the next offer, they bumped it all the way to $1,000
Wow.
in flight credits and $100 in drink vouchers. And I could not have gotten out of my seat any faster if I had tried. I jumped up and I'm like, me.
That's great.
I'm staying. And so they gave me the hotel room, which was at the airport, and the drink vouchers, which I used.
Sure.
And the flight the next morning was at like 8 a.m. or something like that. So
8 a.m. after $100 in
yeah.
bar vouchers does not sound like a good combination.
The one thing that was working in my favor was it was $100 in airport drink vouchers,
fair.
which
Yeah,
is
sure. It's
like
3 drinks.
well, it was more than 3, but it was like 7 to 9 drinks.
Still get me fucked up the next day.
Yeah, well, I'm bigger than you are, Jimmy.
That's fair.
So I wake up the next morning groggy and running a little late, and I hop in the shower real quick and I go to the gate, but I'm still pretty drunk from the night before. And I get to the gate and they're like, "Hey, we don't actually have a spot for you on this plane." And I was like, "No, that's what they said last night." And that's why I took the flight voucher and stayed in the hotel overnight. And that's why I'm still drunk right now. So like,
You're going to have to make a spot.
you got to figure it out, bud. So anyway, long story short, lots of back and forth. I called my company's travel team. I probably shouldn't have done that actually, but I did. And they were like, "We'll see what we can do." And so I don't know what they did. Maybe they paid, maybe they didn't, maybe the airline paid. But long story short, they bumped me to first class to get me on this flight. So I'm flying from Dallas, Fort Worth to like Nashville or Atlanta or somewhere on the East Coast in first class. And so I get on the plane and they haven't even seated the peasants in the back yet. Like I am in my seat and this lady is like offering me a hot towel and a blanket. And she says, "Would you like a drink?" And I say, "Yeah, what do you got?" And I was expecting her to say like Coke or water or whatever. She's like, brings out this top shelf liquor and all these beers and things like that. And I said, "I'll have one of everything."
No, you did not.
I did. It was a joke, but I was like, "I'll just have one of each." And she laughed and she didn't bring me one of each, but I think she got the message that like, this guy's here to party. So she was very attentive throughout the entire flight. And they had the little airplane bottles of Captain Morgan.
Yeah.
So I kept getting these Cokes with airplane bottles of Captain Morgan. and I would pour the airplane bottle in the Coke, drink it like a shot kind of, and then I'd hold my cup up and I'd shake it a little bit.
Oh my
And
God.
she knew that was the sign to come back with another airplane bottle. And they have the little, like, 3/4 height. I don't know if that's an accurate measurement, but like the little airplane cups, you know, the ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the airplane bottle fills up like
Most of the
I think
cup.
you're supposed to do like 2 of those cups per airplane bottle.
Right.
But I would fill it up, like I'd dump the airplane bottle and then I'd do like a splash of Coke. So I only had to have like a Coke for every 4 or 5 airplane bottles.
My God, that's not a good ratio, man.
And this was a, like, by flying standards, relatively long flight. And I drank from well before we took off to, like, the captain had the seatbelt sign. We're going down. I'm like, hey, one more, come on. And
Good God, who picked you up from the airport? Oh, wait. Oh, we're getting too far ahead.
I have no idea. Somebody. I got up to leave the plane first because I was in first class, right? So like I don't have to wait for any of the slow people in front of me.
Sure.
And I get to the little like ramp area where you're deplaning and there's a little elevation dip. And I misjudged how much elevation it dipped. And let me tell you, I don't think it was much. Like an inch maybe.
Right.
But that was enough to throw
But it
off
was
my
enough.
entire equilibrium. And I went tumbling down like Humpty Dumpty off the wall.
My
and
God.
it was very, very embarrassing. And people had to help me up. And someone called someone. And
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
I don't think I made any TSA list, though.
How long ago was that?
I'm gonna
It was last year.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna refuse to answer on grounds that I might incriminate myself.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm gonna plead the fifth.
That does remind me of Boston a little bit, though.
Yo, I went on the same fucking Boston trip that you did. You and I have talked about it before, but I did it like 3 years earlier, and Boston was not my proudest moment either. Just so you know, I don't think I had
I'm
a
glad.
B&E charge like you did, but
Yeah.
I did have some shit go down in Boston. But we're getting way off topic. We were talking about Washington D.C. Mr. Cory went to see Tool.
Hold on. I have one more thing to comment on here. So when it comes to,
Oh, you're right. They didn't press charges.
well, yes, that's correct. Very good, Josh. But let's think about this. So, you're at an airport. The flight, you've got a layover of like 7 hours and it's 2 a.m. So what are you going to do?
Fucking drink.
Right? It's 2 a.m., 7 hours, so it's 9 o'clock. So you're going to stay up from
Let's
2.
go.
Oh, okay. So I think most people are probably going to sleep, right?
Probably.
So my question is, why is it okay that you can sleep at the airport, but you can't like sleep in your car? Like
At the airport?
No, like if you're like, I don't know, say you pull over on the side of the road or say you're, I don't know, pull into a Walmart parking lot or something. You can't sleep in your car. You'll get like arrested.
Well, I think the answer here is rich people fly on planes, poor people drive cars.
I think the answer is you can fucking wake up from your stupor, put that shit in D and hit a tree or another person or whatever.
But what if you're just sleeping?
Yeah, that's how it starts. The risk is after you wake up.
When I was in Oregon,
What are you going to do when you wake up?
If they had really long stretches of road, they had sleepy zones. So you just pull off on the side of the road, and it's like a designated area for people to sleep in their cars.
That's what happens
Fucking
when a bunch of
hippies.
potheads make a state.
That's just
true.
great, though.
I like
It
how we
is.
both had the same fucking shade of thought there.
Well, I mean, to even further that point, why is it not okay for like homeless people to sleep on park benches? Like, that's crazy to me that cities like build out spikes and shit into benches
Right.
to deter people from sleeping on them. You know what I mean?
Have you seen that photo that says it's the LGBT homeless bench? And it's painted like the LGBT colors, but it has like the homeless spikes on it.
Yeah, I have.
Are the
That's fucked up.
are the LGBT colors Roy G. Biv?
They are.
Yes.
Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet.
Good job.
I remember that from like first grade.
Well done.
Man, I
Way to go,
remember,
Miss Rayburn.
Yeah.
I remember seeing this shit about like a bunch of rednecks talking about how the gays took the rainbow and they were upset about that.
Yeah.
Like, they took the fucking rainbow.
Okay.
Have you guys not seen this?
I have.
It's
I
so
enjoy it.
funny.
It's pretty great.
These people are like pissed off because they're like, these guys are taking the rainbow. What's next? Like, what do you mean what's next?
Wow.
It's a goddamn rainbow.
Well, speaking of tolerance and homeless people, I went to DC and
Nice segue.
I land in DCA, Ronald Reagan Airport, and my friend picks me up in his Tesla and takes me down to his gentrified area.
You fancy.
I really like
Is-
that humble brag.
His girlfriend was like, yeah, no, a couple years ago, this was the murder capital of America, but it got gentrified. So now it's just like where the rich young people live.
Also sounds like Oregon.
More or less.
Yeah.
It was a lot of walking, not used to that. But he took me out drinking that first night. Took me to a couple of his local watering holes. And
Applebee's?
no, they are much more expensive, I assure you.
Like Chili's?
Chili's is the same price as Applebee's.
More or less. It's actually potentially even cheaper because they always have buy one, get ones.
That's true.
Yeah,
It's
but
like
they're
Outback.
6 ounces.
Oh, Outback.
I mean,
Outback,
yeah.
yeah.
I'm trying the local craft beers, that sort of thing at these places. And I like darker beer generally if I'm drinking craft, and all of them were like 9%. So I was getting to where I was feeling pretty good pretty quick. And we ended up at this place, I think it's called the American Ice Company, which is not the thing that I would think that a bar would be called. But it's this very divey place that's like 10 blocks away from his house or something like that. They have these things called SWACHOS, which is nachos that they have like the chips, and then they put the like some sort of like pico de gallo, and then like they just fucking drench that shit in queso, and then pulled pork goes on top of it.
Ooh.
Oh my God.
Sounds great.
So good.
Is that the one you sent the picture of?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. That looks
Unbelievable.
really good.
It was wild good.
I thought that was a pizza.
I sent a picture of a pizza as well. That was earlier in the day when I went to the bougie pizza place.
Okay, that makes sense.
My God.
Wow.
I had squid ink crust. It was
What?
Wow.
Ooh, that
Yeah.
sounds bougie as fuck.
Yeah, that's why I ordered it.
Squid ink crust?
Yeah. It
What
was
value does that add?
I don't
to the
know, man.
crust?
It was black. instead
Color
of,
and a little
like,
bit of
the normal.
flavor.
The
Yeah.
whole crust was black?
Yeah.
It's like the breaded Outback.
Oh, I don't like that.
That's how you can tell the gentrification process has completed.
Yeah, no, it had like
when
a,
you have squid ink crust at your pizza joint?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it starts with vegan bakeries and it ends with squid ink crust.
That's fair.
it ends with squid ink crust.
I don't think it can go any further. Like, what the fuck?
I'm not sure if it can either.
A lot
Maybe
of time,
stationary shops or something. I don't know.
a lot of times you think about like, who was the first person who thought to do whatever, right? Like, who the fuck thought to make pizza crust out of squid ink?
Squid ink pasta is actually very good.
Which I think it's basically like what you would make squid ink pasta out of. They've just
Crustified it.
made it a dough.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was really good. It was like a seafood thing. It had like calamari and octopus and fucking it had like a lemon wedge in the middle that you like squeeze all over the whole thing, and like shrimp and shit. It was really good.
So it was a seafood pizza.
Kind of.
That was the theme of the...
Yeah, it's called like the Lupo Marino, I think is what it was called.
Does the squid ink add any flavor, or is it for color only?
I feel like it added some texture maybe, but that may have just been what it was consisting of. Like it had an odd consistency. I don't know that it really changed the flavor that much.
Does the oven have to be a certain temperature to like cook out the poison?
I
Wait,
don't know that
there's
squid
no
ink has
poison?
poison in it.
Are you getting your facts from like Disney?
Squid ink doesn't have poison?
Oh
I
my
don't.
God.
I don't think so. I think it's just a deterrent, like just a pocket sand.
That's a really good visual image.
It is, yeah.
Like that.
It's like underwater pocket sand.
I don't know. I just thought squid ink had poison.
No, man.
That's
All right.
okay.
Well, let's move on.
So that was Sunday night. We stumbled back to his apartment late at night, having eaten like 4 orders of these SWACHOS. And Monday ended up just kind of being a hangover day. We had big plans of going to like the Smithsonian's and that kind of stuff. Turns out they were like all fucking closed because it was President's Day. So I thought that would be like a big deal in Washington, D.C. Like everything was going to be open, but
right.
very not. It's
Huh.
the Black Friday opposite. But Tuesday ended up going to the
Black
American
Friday
History
opposite's
Museum.
pretty good.
Yeah, that got me good. National holiday, Black Friday opposite.
But we ended up going to the American History Museum on Tuesday, which we had to kind of speed through. Like, we saw everything, but we didn't really get to like spend time at any of the exhibits per se, because he was closing on a house on Tuesday as well. So he bought a house and is doing the paperwork and what have you at like 2 or 3 o'clock or something like that. So we get there right when they open at like, I think they open at 10:30, and we start at the top, work our way down. Should have done the opposite, because the bottom is the fucking coolest floor of all of them. That's where they have like all the old cars and trains and shit, and like full boats.
Gotcha.
Craziness. But after we did that, he went and did his closing on the house thing and whatnot. And that same day, that was the Tool concert as well, which I decided to spring for the VIP package for the first time ever. And I've seen them like 8 times at this point and never really had the funds to do so. But finally, I have the disposable income to afford the VIP package. And it said it comes with a premium ticket. I did not realize that that meant the second row. So I was at the second row middle of a Tool concert.
I can't imagine.
Yeah, that's a bummer for me.
Now when it's seated, right?
Yeah. So after the 10,000 Days, like right after that album came out, they started going to like full seated shows. So like right after the album came out, they still had like a normal general admission floor. And then after that, it was seated. And like the past 4 or 5 times I've seen them outside of a festival has been seated.
Nice.
But that was like a religious experience for me, being that close.
I'm sure.
Like, I went to one other concert and was sitting that close. I saw Churches with my fiance. We were in like the 3rd row center.
Church is really good live.
They're really good live, but it was like really weird to be that close.
I'm sure.
Because they don't have like the crazy visuals and like the overall presence of
Right.
like a Tool show. So it was just like you're just staring at her singing.
Would you say they're Tool opposite?
No, I mean, I think given enough time and money, I think
That's
they could get there. I don't know that synth pop quite has the same thing as progressive metal, but
No.
They're Scottish, right?
yes.
Okay.
Is that the only question you had?
That
there?
was it?
Okay.
I saw
got
them
it.
in their prime like 5 or 6 years ago.
Okay.
That was their prime for me at least.
I was about
And
to
I
say
really
that's-
like their music.
The
That's
Mother
pretty-
That We Share tour.
Yeah,
That's pretty early for the prime.
Yeah.
I don't know about all that, but
I thought that was their best album. Is their first one.
okay.
Yeah.
I can respect that. But the last couple days of the DC trip, didn't really do much. I helped him move some boxes over to his new place.
Least you can do.
Yeah. I
Or
mean,
crash on his couch.
yeah, he
and-
let me stay for free in DC for like 5 days. So,
Yeah, it's like $1,000 in and of itself that you
Yeah,
save there.
no
At-
doubt.
At least. Yeah.
Yeah.
which is why I could justify the first class upgrade that I paid for.
Nice.
Know what you're not going to be able to justify soon?
Gas.
Yeah. Putting gas in your car.
Yeah.
Like we're headed straight for $10 a gallon.
I drive a hybrid.
I don't. I drive big old fucking gas guzzler.
Hybrid opposite.
13 miles per gallon.
13?
Baby.
My God.
That's a big
It
oof.
floats between 13 and 14, depending on how fast and the furious I'm feeling.
Yeah, I paid for gas today and then decided that I should stop having a lead foot. So I went from 17 miles per gallon to 24. Did not realize how bad it was.
Major improvements.
Major improvements.
Yeah, I'm mad if I dip below 40.
Fuck you.
I strive for around 40. I'm somewhere between 30 and 40 pretty much constantly. Tiny car, big guy.
No, I'm not.
Big
Sounded like a Rick and
man
Morty
in a
skit.
tiny car.
Like a, what do they call it? Interdimensional cable?
Yeah.
Sounds like an interdimensional cable thing.
Tiny car, big man. Out to see the world. Corey, what else has happened in your life within the last couple weeks?
So this past weekend, I took like a friend trip, I guess you could say. One of my other group of friends.
Not that kind of trip.
No.
Got it. Okay.
No, they didn't do that one.
A different one? So some shrooms?
Maybe.
Some kind of research chemical they made
Sure.
up?
We'll go with that.
Got
That's
it.
fine.
Okay.
But it was from my other group of friends. It was one of their birthdays. So they decided they wanted to go to Charlottesville, Virginia.
Oof.
It's real far away.
That's out there.
But
Oh, that's why I saw those tiki torches in your car.
haha, I made that joke so many times and nobody laughed.
I think it's great.
I can't imagine why.
It's not too soon. It's
I'm
far enough away.
I'm not going to laugh.
That's fine. They didn't either. Drove over there. We rented this it's like 100 and some odd year old house. It has a fucking redwood tree in the yard, which was kind of cool.
Nice. I love me some big trees.
Like it's fucking huge. Like, I'm sure you've seen the actual forest over there. Yeah, no, I haven't. This is the first time I've ever seen one in person. Like, you don't really respect how huge they are.
Oh, yeah. When we went to San Francisco, we didn't go to the redwoods.
Yep. We saw a couple of the trees, but we didn't really go.
Yeah, Muir Woods is something to behold.
I bet. Like, that's one of the reasons that I would want to go out west. There's not many reasons I would want to go out west, honestly.
Except to see them big trees.
Big trees, Vegas, Grand Canyon.
The coast is something else.
Coast
Grand
is the coast,
Canyon
man.
sucks.
Really?
It's a big hole. What the hell is this? It's just a big hole, buddy.
I'm not scared of many things, but I am not comfortable with heights, especially when there's no guardrail or safety net.
Have you been to the Grand Canyon?
Yes. There's no guardrail and there's no safety net.
That's not
accurate
all
at
of
all.
how it is. What are you talking about?
That's where I was.
You can like go down into the canyon. You ride a donkey down there.
Yeah. Well, fuck that.
That's real.
I know it's real, but
that poor donkey.
they're all out of XXL
no shit.
donkeys. And secondly, like,
No fucking
no.
horse.
Can I get a Magnum donkey?
Por favor, el burro grande.
Well, all right. So I'm not actually like,
Sir, that's a horse.
Oh my god. Oh Jesus. I'm very sorry.
it's fine. I'm not actually like scared of heights in all the ways that people are scared of heights. Like, I'm fine with riding on a plane. I'm fine with roller coasters and things like that.
You just get fucking trashed, so you don't know where you are.
That was one time.
It wasn't one time. You've definitely been drunk on a plane more
That's
than
how
that.
I deal with it. I get motion sick real bad, and
See-
my fiance's family has a boat, and they like to go out on it.
Motion
so you
sickness.
fight this with alcohol?
Yeah, that's not how
Yeah,
that
so
works.
I fight that with alcohol.
What
Yes,
the fuck?
What the fuck? That seems
it's a thing.
the opposite of good.
I also like getting the spins, Corey.
No, it's not even about the spins. It's just that
Love it.
So like my problem is that like I tense up everything whenever like I'm uncomfortable with it, but like
Yeah.
the alcohol loosens me up. It just keeps me. I just kind of go with the flow on it, you know.
You know what they say? A negative plus a negative is a positive, buddy.
That's right.
Life's a garden, dig it.
Life's a garden.
Excuse me?
When I said I was scared of heights, I didn't really mean all heights. I meant a specific type of height. And the specific type of height that I'm afraid of is
Big holes.
walking toward the middle on the second row of a mall, like where you can see over the edge, like where you're close to the edge.
There's
and
a
you're
rail.
walking there. Right. No, but that freaks me out. So being at the end of a mountain, being at the edge of a cliff, being at the edge of the top second floor of the mall,
Does it
like,
kind of like feel like it's like either sucking you in or that
Yeah.
you like kind of want to jump in?
yeah, it feels like your testes scoop right up into your stomach.
Yeah, there's a French term for it. I can't remember what it is, but it's called the
Voir dire?
That might be it. It's translates
No,
to
voir dire is jury selection.
that's not it at all then.
Baguette.
It's
That's
referred
bread.
to as thank you. The call of the void.
I didn't realize I was a French scholar.
Omelette de fromage.
But no, that's a real thing. I used to, when I was doing installs in high like skyscrapers and stuff, I would look over the edge and be like, here we are. This is how it ends.
L'appel du vide.
Is that what it is?
L'appel du vide.
That's what they call it when your balls is up in your stomach.
The call of the void. The call of the void describes the impulse to hurl yourself into a void. That I don't feel like I had any impulse in any of these situations to hurl myself in. I'm not sure that we're talking about the same thing.
But no, it kind of feels like something's like dragging you in. No.
No.
I think this ties us into our next segment where Rob figured out that he has some issues he needs to fix.
I think we're still on Cory's stuff.
We can talk about that later.
Well, we'll circle back.
So to kind of build off of your Grand Canyon fear, it's like on my bucket list. I really want to just pee off the edge into the Grand Canyon.
I've done that.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
Do you guys pee in public often?
Like unencumbered or
No.
like just in a public restroom?
Oh. That's not what I thought you meant by unencumbered.
It's usually only on road trips.
Yeah, generally like side of the road kind of deal. That's
Yeah.
kind of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean that happens.
Yeah.
I
But yeah.
peed a lot in San Francisco because there were multiple places. Like, it's so fucking hard to find a public bathroom right now in San Francisco. Like,
Yeah.
if you're just walking around and you're like, I gotta pee,
Nope, can't pee. There's COVID.
can't be here. There's COVID here.
It's like, sure, I'll just pee on a bush and spread COVID more. No
Yeah.
problem.
I don't think pee spreads COVID.
It doesn't, but it's definitely not sanitary to pee everywhere.
I don't remember Fauci telling us that one.
Fauci don't know anything, buddy.
Do not pee on each other.
Golden showers spread COVID.
All right, so I've read more about this French term, which is the call of the void. And Rob, I don't think we're talking about the same thing. So let me give you an example of what this is saying.
Okay.
I take a ferry a lot, and sometimes I look down at the churning water and wonder what it would be like to jump in. And then I shudder, back away, and do something else. Today I learned call of the void is the feeling when you think for a second about steering into oncoming traffic or jumping off a cliff for no reason, although you would never do it.
So it's kind of like the Japanese suicide forest.
Yeah. That's not what I'm talking about here.
What?
The Japanese suicide forest.
One of the Logan bros went there.
Yeah,
The suicide forest, it exists, but I'm confused as to how this is relevant.
Yeah, what's the connection?
So supposedly it like calls to you and tells you to fucking hang yourself from trees and shit. That's why people go there.
I think people go
That's
there
like-
to kill themselves.
No, that's
Yeah.
like the mythology behind it though, is that the
think it's
forest is telling people to do that. They make a whole movie about this shit.
Okay.
Okay.
What's it called?
I don't remember. It was a shitty movie.
All right.
It had a big name actress in it though, but it wasn't good.
Robert Pattinson.
It's called Bird
No,
Box.
actually, it may have been the girl one from that movie. What's her name?
Kristen
Kristen
Stewart.
Stewart. That's it. Yeah,
Nice.
got it.
The girl one.
We all knew who he meant. Hey, Cory, did you see somebody get arrested last night?
Can't say that I did.
Wasn't somebody being flogged?
Just Molly.
Ha ha ha! Yeah, nice. You saw flogging Molly.
Haha. Way to point that out, James.
What the fuck was that?
How was flogging Molly, Cory?
It's one of the top 10 concerts I've ever been to in my life.
Oh fuck yeah! I love those experiences because like me and you both have seen like so many shows that it's rare
yeah.
that we're like blown away.
Yeah.
When it happens now, it's like, fuck yeah!
Yeah, no, you get real
Let's
hype.
go.
You'll get real hype after the fact, for
Yeah.
sure. But this was one of those rare shows that it wasn't just the headliner that blew me away. Like,
Yeah.
literally every band that came out was great.
Nice.
Do you
Like-
remember all of them?
I do. So there was the Vandaliers that started. They're from Dallas, Texas. They told us that many times. But they're not a great studio band, that's for sure. I listened to their album on the way over here, and I was like, "Ooh, this is not what I remember."
Yeah, those are always weird. I have a few
we're
bands like that.
Where like they like everything is faster live, and you listen to it on the record, and you're like, "This is like 60 beats per minute." It was like 120 last night.
It's like that show that we went to. Remember Post Animal?
Yes,
Yeah, it's exactly like that.
I disagree. I like them live and recorded.
I like them live more, but going from like a bunch of like synths and like kind of like chilled back stuff to like
Right.
4 guitars on stage is very different.
That shit is great. Yeah.
But the Vandaliers are like they're like a country punk band, I guess you could say almost. At least that's what the vibe I got live. Listening to the studio album, it has a lot more country than it does punk to it. But
Gotcha.
they may have just kind of modified how their sound is for who they were playing with.
Yeah.
But we had Ruskaya after that, which is
Is that like Zendaya?
no,
Oh,
I wish.
I love Zendaya.
Me too. Apparently, like she absolutely killed it in the second season of Euphoria. I've not watched it.
Euphoria is very good. Rob won't watch it because he thinks it's too pretentious.
That show is super overrated.
I haven't seen an episode yet, but I intend to watch it at some point.
I had the same kind of vibe that I had whenever I watched The Walking Dead.
I hate The Walking Dead.
What?
Yeah, I got like 3 or 4 episodes in, and I
You've
was
seen
like,
it, right, Cory? At least part
we
of it?
watched. I think we watched like the first half of the first season.
Okay, elaborate on this Walking Dead comparison.
Yeah, I don't get that.
it was just the feeling that I had the same feeling watching both shows where like they're so popular and it's supposed to be so good, and people talk about like how great the show is and it's like perfect and everything like that. And I'm like, all right, I'm ready. And then I watched first episode and I'm like, all right, slow start. And I watched the second episode and I'm like, really long intro, get 3 episodes in. Fucking come on, 4 episodes in. Okay, this is garbage.
You are like,
Hard disagree.
you are straight preaching into my soul right now because I know exactly how you feel. I feel the exact same way about The Walking Dead. And there's another show that's, I feel when I watch The Walking Dead exactly the same way as I feel when I watch Lost. It's the same thing. It's like everybody says it's just this unbelievable masterpiece.
I totally agree with Lost.
Maybe at some point, like when things finally come together, there's like some redeeming value. But for me to watch 60 hours of a TV show, which is what it takes to go from like season 1 to the typical conclusion of a TV show like that, I need to be invested along the way. It can't just all be about the payoff at the end, which, by the way, I never watched the end of Lost, but I heard the payoff fucking sucks.
The payoff usually sucks with shows like that.
Didn't suck in Breaking Bad.
That's true.
That's very
Breaking
true.
Bad is fucking great.
Yeah, I still need to finish Breaking Bad.
Yeah, the payoff is great. You know what else had a good payoff? Weeds.
Yeah,
Love the end of that show.
Weeds was really good too. They
I haven't
tied that
finished
up nicely.
Weeds.
You know what sucked? True Blood.
Yeah, True Blood started sucking though, like season 4.
Yeah, but
It
then
was
they
so
had
good at the beginning.
They had like the one where Bill becomes the vampire god.
Yeah.
That season was fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's true.
That show is a little rough, but I'm not sure how else they could have ended it, to be honest.
What, True Blood?
Yeah.
I mean, Bill could have killed Sookie.
That could have been a thing.
That would have been a way cooler ending than how it ended.
Yeah.
Never
She
seen
just
True
gets
Blood.
married to like a regular guy.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
like she marries Eric instead of Bill or some shit. I don't know.
I can't remember.
Or Edward.
Fuck you.
Okay. I had this like really big like theory thing for the show and how it was going to end, and I was like, they're leading up to it. This is perfect. And it's been so long that I can't remember exactly what it is, but I thought my ending that I wrote in my head was much better. It's like they should have called me.
So talking about shows that everyone tells you is great, and I'm
Don't you fucking do it. You need to stop.
Is it Yellowstone?
Corey, go on.
Yellowstone
it's
fucking
Yellowstone.
sucks.
I don't know about fucking sucks, but it's certainly not as good as everyone's told me it is.
It's a typical fucking Western. It's boring as shit.
It's like anytime they need to fill a gap, they're like, show some motherfuckers riding horses. People love that shit.
Exactly.
True Grit was bad.
I agree. I think we were both very powerful for that movie too, so that might have had something to do with
I
it.
should have had a good impact. I should have been like, fuck yeah, horses. But instead I was like, God damn it, horses.
Yeah. Why are there still horses?
They're still horses.
So anyway, circling
horses
back
are
around.
majestic.
What's a
Josh is a horse
Tombstone?
girl.
Tombstone fucking rocks though. As far as westerns go,
I haven't seen Tombstone.
Tombstone,
yeah, Tombstone is
very worth a watch.
Okay.
That's like Val Kilmer's opus. It's so good.
I haven't seen it.
I'm your Huckleberry.
I think No Country for Old Men is considered a western as well.
It's a good
is.
one.
No.
Yeah, it is.
It's
Definitely
certainly
not a
is.
western.
It's considered a western. Yes, it is.
All right, well, then so is Seven Samurai from Akira
Yeah,
Kurosawa.
yeah, it is. I mean, it's a samurai movie, but it has very much the same.
That's what the whole
feeling.
spaghetti western genre was built out of. was
Exactly.
Seven
That's
Samurai.
what I'm saying. I think they actually made a western of Seven Samurai, like the Magnificent Seven. That's actually what it was called.
You know, have you guys seen Peaky Blinders?
I've seen of it. I
I
haven't seen it.
watched the first 3 seasons and then it lost me.
I've taken a peek.
I've nice. I've
Nice.
watched like half of the first season, and it definitely feels like a western a little bit. Like it's
I see that.
definitely not a western,
Right.
but it feels like it.
It's like British Boardwalk Empire is the best way I can describe it.
I've never seen Boardwalk Empire. I have no
Boardwalk Empire is great.
idea. Oh yeah,
That's a really good one.
It's not as good as The
Buscemi,
Sopranos.
Steve Buscemi fucking kills it.
is that the one with Johnny Depp?
Oh no, I don't remember Johnny Depp being in that.
That's Pirates of the Caribbean.
I think you're talking about Public Enemies, the movie.
I was thinking of Gangs of New York, which is also a movie.
Also, no
Oh.
Johnny Depp.
Yeah, Johnny Depp's not in that.
Fuck,
Yeah, Gangs of New York is one of my favorite movies.
who's in that one?
Daniel fucking Day-Lewis and Leonardo DiCaprio.
Two of the greatest actors of our
Yeah,
age.
without question, both of them
gotcha.
were robbed. Like Daniel Day-Lewis deserves all the fucking Oscars, man.
Have you guys seen Lincoln?
You know what's going to
Yeah,
happen
I did.
though?
It's a really
If
long.
they ever give him
Haven't
the
seen it.
Oscar, he's going to drink all their fucking milkshakes.
I drink it up.
He's never gotten an Oscar.
He most certainly has.
I said if they give him all of them,
Oh, okay,
Oh.
yeah.
he's just going to drink all the milkshakes.
Yeah, sure. And they'll bring all the boys to the yard.
You guys remember like the big meme when fucking Leo just didn't get an Oscar for all of his shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was wild. And then he finally had to fight a bear, and he got it.
That's like one of his worst movies.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
like
he won the Oscar
it's
for it.
the least worthy of all of his nominated roles.
It's very good acting, but it's very hard to watch.
It's just not a very good movie.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's terrible.
I think he
Like, not even Tom Hardy could save that movie, man.
What's his
true.
best role?
Tom Hardy?
Wolf
No.
of Wall Street.
Leo.
Leo? Probably Wolf of Wall Street, yeah.
He
Second,
does make a
Jordan Belfort.
really good Jordan Belfort.
Second is probably Django.
No.
I'd say second is probably The Departed.
You need to rewatch Django.
I've rewatched Django recently.
He's great
It's-
in Django.
He's really, really good. In
He's a
Django.
good Gatsby too.
Yes.
Gatsby was not a good movie.
No, but he
No.
was a good Gatsby.
He
Sure.
was.
And fucking What's Eating Gilbert Grape?
No, man.
I don't think that counts.
You don't never go full.
Johnny Depp's in that one, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, he's the older brother.
Yeah.
Or older brother? Or
I think he's
it's
older.
not his dad.
No, not his dad. I think it's definitely brother.
Yeah,
It's a brother
older brother.
relationship kind of deal.
I've never seen that movie. Is he like?
Titanic?
It is what I think Robert Downey Jr. based his monologue off of.
Oh, okay, got it.
In Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
He's not that good in Titanic.
He's great.
I'm very biased against Titanic because I think it's the most fucking overrated movie
It's
of all
so
time.
good. You shut up.
No,
It's pretty good.
I grew up wanting Leo to draw me like one of his French girls.
Did you used to breathe hot air onto the window and smack it up there? Just, yeah,
Oh,
there
man.
you go. Like that.
You guys can't see it, but I really don't like what Josh just did.
it was kind of gross. It
Yeah.
was a little.
It was
Sexual.
pretty sensual, yeah.
Josh just looks wet.
Josh, what would you say your favorite movie is? What are you doing?
That's
Being
the forbidden thing I can't
Yeah,
do.
he's doing the Jimmy thing.
Yeah.
What's my favorite movie
Probably, yeah. What's your favorite movie?
of all time?
Sure. Or if you can't choose one, give me a top three.
Of like quality or of
No, just your favorite movies.
like, okay. Mine is Top Gun, Mallrats, and then I really like V for Vendetta too, but it's hard for me to watch over and over again.
V for Vendetta fucking sucks.
Get out of here.
That movie's terrible.
Dude, Hugo Weaving fucking kills it.
I disagree.
That's
the,
fine.
The movie doesn't suck, but it's not top three.
It's not something I can watch over and over again, but I remember walking out of that movie being like, fuck yeah, I want to learn how to throw knives.
That movie's solid, like 6 for me.
It's extremely difficult for me to like narrow down to a top 3 favorite movies because I like such a wide variety of stuff, and there will be moods that I'm in where I'll want to watch a certain type of thing, and a movie that's one of my favorites I wouldn't be interested at all because I'm not in the mood to watch it. So like when it comes to the movies that I've seen the most frequently and that I think have the best rewatchability, like I've seen, and you know, I'll start here. I have 2 young kids at home, but even before I had kids, both Aladdin and The Lion King are just some of my all-time favorite movies. And more recently, I love watching Moana, right? I've watched that a million times. But I have seen Rocky 3 and 4 and Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Those 3 movies I've seen at least like 1.3 or 1.4 billion times each.
It might be a slight exaggeration.
Like, yeah, A squared plus B squared equals C. Like, I did some math, and maybe my math was off a little bit, but like roughly 1.3 to 1.4 billion each. Good Will Hunting is one of my favorite movies.
It's a good one.
And really, if we're gonna like Robin Williams, he's kind of been a theme. So like Aladdin, Good Will Hunting, and then The Dead Poets Society is another fantastic one. And I've loved a ton of his movies. But more recent movies, I really like The Social Network. I think it's really good. I really
Great
like
movie.
Molly's Game was really good.
I haven't even heard of that one.
Yeah, I have no idea what that is.
It's Jessica Chastain, I think, is in that. Yeah, she
Yeah.
runs like an illegal poker game for like celebrities.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
You got a lot of favorite movies, bro.
really good. I explained that
I know
it
you
depends on the
prefaced it.
mood.
I know.
But like those are the movies that I would watch over and over and over again. And then like there was this end of high school through the first few years of college phase where we were sort of exiting Adam Sandler's prime, but we were getting into the Judd Apatow season of our life, and we had
That's a strange transition. I know what you mean, right? But if you say it in a sentence like that, it sounds not correct.
but it is like you're well past Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore. Like you've started getting shit like Little Nicky, which like fringe funny, but it's not one of his better movies. And
It's like number 4.
and he's transitioning into like stuff
That's
isn't
number
as,
4 for you in Adam Sandler's hierarchy?
that's
his number one is Jack and Jill.
all right. Stop.
No, number 1 for me is probably Happy Gilmore, followed by The Waterboy, followed by Billy Madison. Number 4 is up for contention. I'm not sure.
So for me, it goes then Big Daddy,
So
Big Daddy's amazing.
then
Big
Punch
Daddy's
Drunk
really good.
Love.
Okay, that doesn't count.
Why?
So first off, I love Punch Drunk Love. I love Uncut Gems. They don't count as Adam Sandler movies.
No, Uncut Gems,
I
I don't
agree.
think. I mean, Punch Drunk Love is meant to be funny, though.
It's like a super dark comedy.
Yeah.
What about
But-
The Longest Yard?
I didn't. I watched it a lot as a kid. I have not revisited it, and I have no intention of ever doing that.
And
So-
Hubie Halloween was great.
So your first
have
was
not
The
seen it.
Waterboy?
It really goes. I think my first is Happy Gilmore, but man, I think it is The Waterboy. Actually, it goes back and forth between Happy
So
Gilmore and The
Waterboy, Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison.
Yeah,
And then you said, well, those are obviously the top 3, right? Like, does anybody at this table disagree?
No, I wouldn't say so.
not
No.
counting if we're talking about like the serious ones or the moderately serious ones, it's definitely Uncut Gems, Punch Drunk Love, something else,
Agreed.
Rain Over Me or something.
Oh, that Rain Over Me was terrible.
I'm glad we have the same Adam Sandler rankings.
Yeah.
Ugh. Fucking like, what's the Marvel character's name? Iron America.
Man?
No, it's
Iron America.
who does Don Cheadle play?
Yeah, he's the
War
the second-
Machine.
War
War
Machine. That's
Yeah.
it.
So
Iron America.
okay. If it's not that one, then what's the other serious Adam Sandler movie that you would put in its place?
The one about the shoes.
The Cobbler? That's not serious at all.
Click?
Oh yeah,
Click.
Click.
Click is
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Click is
the
my
remote
number
control.
one. Fuck all of the other
Yeah.
movies. Click is number one.
Christopher Walken steals the show in
Yeah,
everything that
he
he's in,
does.
but especially in that movie.
Yeah, it's Christopher Walken's number one in my head too.
Yeah.
Click is so my issue with Click is that it's like kind of right in between this valley of Adam Sandler, right? So if you think of a V shape and you've got on the left you've got all the comedy that Adam Sandler does, and then on the right you've got all the serious shit.
You got Click as the point of the V.
It's
apex,
the apex.
of, and I think it might be his worst movie in my opinion.
No,
Like,
man, that's definitely Jack and Jill.
I haven't
Jack
seen
and
Jack
Jill
and
is
Jill,
by
so I have
far
no
the worst.
reference. But like, as far as his like mainstream movies that
Isn't
are
Grown Ups
considered,
another
pretty
really
good,
bad one?
Grown Ups
Grown Ups was not
pretty great.
Great, but
I did not enjoy
it
Grown
wasn't
Ups.
great.
I
but
mean, I enjoyed it.
it wasn't.
It was like
It wasn't Jack and Jill bad.
it was nearly Jack and Jill territory.
No, I don't think. Grown Ups 2, maybe.
Yeah, they shouldn't have a second one of those.
Yeah, the second one was maybe in the Jack and Jill territory, but Jack and Jill is just fucking awful.
Oh, we didn't even talk about The Wedding Singer. I love that movie.
Oh, that one's really
yeah,
good too.
I
That's
forgot-
number 4.
And 50 First Dates.
That's number 5.
Mr. Deeds.
Oh,
Sneaky, sir.
oh man, that might be number 5.
Oh, Anger Management. Love that
God,
movie.
he has so many. We need to go on an Adam Sandler.
We got some bangers.
Wait,
Yeah.
he was in Paul Blart Mall Cop.
Yeah, of course.
Probably.
Kevin James movie.
That's my
yeah.
favorite movie.
Oh,
from
what
Adam
about the
Sandler.
one where
Eight Crazy Nights.
that is good, but I was talking about the one where what's it called? It's the one where they're like gay or they're pretending to be gay.
Coneheads?
No, what the fuck?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Chuck and Larry.
Yeah, I
or
pronounced you
something.
Chuck and Larry.
Yeah, that one.
Oh.
God, what a shitter movie.
Airheads.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about Airheads. I forgot he was in
Coneheads.
that.
All the heads.
Is this the Adam Sandler episode?
No,
I guess so.
It's spinning off into that. I was talking about the Flogging Molly concert, and we somehow got here.
Well, what I was getting to with the Adam Sandler to Judd Apatow transition is that we were getting out of the funny Adam Sandler phase. We were getting into things like Anchorman, Talladega Nights, Wedding Crashers. Why are you looking at me like that?
None of those are Judd Apatow films.
What the fuck are you talking about? Are you talking about Will Ferrell?
No, I'm talking about Judd Apatow. He wrote those, wrote and directed.
He did?
I don't think he did.
Are we talking about the same? Oh, I'm thinking of Jude Law.
Yeah,
Those are different people.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh shit! Who's Judd Apatow?
He's a
guy-
comedian who writes funny movies.
Yeah,
like
he
the,
did,
all
He did
all of
4-Year-Old
the,
Virgin.
all of the Paul Rudd stuff is
Okay.
Judd Apatow.
And Forgetting Sarah Marshall and I Love You,
Oh,
Man. And
Forgetting Sarah Marshall. What a fucking banger of a movie.
It's a great movie.
One of my favorite comedies or rom-coms, I guess. I don't know.
He also did Heavyweights, by the way.
That came out when I was going through a breakup, so it hit me a little different than some other people.
Oh, yeah.
So I didn't appreciate it early.
That's also
on
when
in
I
its life.
watched it, and I appreciated it more because of it.
Yeah, that movie will fuck you up.
Yeah, it sure will.
Because it's very real.
It's so accurate.
And you get to see...
Jason Segel's dong.
Yeah, big old dong.
It's real funny. Listen,
I love
to
the
him talk
interview.
about that.
It's so good. He talks about you can't have a full on erection on set, but you also like cannot be completely soft because people are gonna see it.
Right.
So it was this fine area of like having like sort of a half boner all the time.
He really slapped it around too.
But it was really important to him. He talks about like him being naked and it being his thing was like, because they were talking about giving him a prosthetic like they did for Tommy Lee in the new Pam and Tommy show. That thing's fucking huge, by the way.
That was a prosthetic?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and Pam's tits are prosthetic too in the show.
Well,
They
they're prosthetic
are
in real life too.
So
Well, yeah, but I mean, like,
Nice.
yeah.
Good job, boys.
So when I said the Judd Apatow like time, I meant Judd Apatow and Judd Apatow adjacent films because apparently none of the fucking shit that I was talking about was Judd Apatow. And yeah, it was probably all Will Ferrell stuff. But
Wait, he did Pineapple Express?
Yeah, he did
he did.
40-Year-Old Virgin, Knocked Up, Pineapple Express. This is 40, and he
Super
did,
bad? Question mark?
Nope, he did a lot less.
No, that
stuff
was.
than I thought.
I thought that was just Seth Rogen and Jonah Hill. I think wrote that.
That movie kind of slaps. I think Seth Rogen in a leading role is not good though.
Yeah, I mean, we did get Green Hornet.
Oh, he did the
Yep.
entirety of Freaks and Geeks.
Yeah, he did.
Freaks and Geeks is so good.
Yeah, that was some of the best 13 episodes of TV ever.
Absolutely.
It was like that 70s show meets the Wonder Years.
Oh yeah.
It's a good time. I only watched that like 2 years ago for the first time.
What, Wonder Years?
No, Freaks and Geeks.
Oh, okay.
That's because you weren't born when it came out, right?
Yeah, basically.
I'm young.
Hey Jimmy,
Hey,
what's your favorite movie?
I was trying to look that up because I have a list of movies I've seen. Because it is really hard to decide, as Josh was saying, because it depends on your mood.
Mine
But,
is very clearly Top Gun.
If I had to pick 3, it would probably be, most recently I saw this movie called Red Rocket. Very, very good movie. Red Rocket's incredible.
Josh's face right now.
Did you see it?
Yeah, I watched top 3 of all time.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Will is going to text me immediately and be like, I stand by you, Jimmy. All right.
Okay, bud.
We also got Dunkirk and Interstellar.
Dunkirk, I don't agree with.
Interstellar was dope.
I
but
saw Dunkirk in IMAX, and it's a different experience.
Inception was better than Interstellar. Like,
My fiance and I, when we saw
What?
Dunkirk in IMAX.
That was a hot take.
Inception being better than Interstellar is not a hot take. That is
It's really not.
that
It's-
is the normal.
For my friend group, at least.
Yeah, that's what normal people think is correct.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Oh, we're not cool enough to think Interstellar is better than
No,
Inception.
I'm saying normal people as in like general population. So
Right.
general population thinks that is accurate.
Right.
I tend to like Interstellar more. I also like Tenet more than Dunkirk.
Tenet was very good.
I thought Tenet was great.
It's hard,
Isn't it
it's hard to
today?
pick a top 3. How many fucking times are we going to go through this, Josh?
was Dunkirk the one that had all the scenes that were like one camera for an entire
That's
no, that was
1918.
1917.
1917 was
17,
one
sorry.
shot as you saw it, but it obviously wasn't one shot.
Yeah. They didn't do the whole movie in one take.
Yeah.
Well, obviously
That would be incredible.
that would be incredible. I'd sign up to see that movie.
Yeah, it took us, I don't know, how long is the movie? 2 hours and 17 minutes? Yeah, that's about how long it took.
Dunkirk was fine.
I would agree with that.
I agree.
Dunkirk is fine.
Yeah, it's not one of my favorite Christopher Nolan movies.
It has fantastic audio engineering, though, for
Yeah,
sure.
I
IMAX
agree.
hit different.
Like,
Really did.
my fiance and I had PTSD leaving that theater.
Yeah,
Like, legit.
Yeah, it was a lot.
can't take vets to that one.
It was so loud.
Yeah. I really do like Christopher Nolan movies are worth the price of admission at
Oh,
the
yeah.
theater.
Generally.
Even if they're not good movies, like
Like Tenet.
they sound good and
Oh.
look good.
Yeah, for Dunkirk, he ruined like 2,
Tenet.
like, Jesus. For Dunkirk, he ruined 2, like, $600,000 IMAX cameras because he wanted them to be in the water.
Wow.
dedication.
That sounds like a lot of money until you see that the budget for the movie was
Yeah, it was like
$200
$300
million.
million or some shit.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
Oh no!
I
We used
love-
Yeah.
0.5% of our budget.
I like Christopher Nolan movies a lot. Sometimes it feels like he sucks his own dick a little hard.
You got to do that to
Like
be famous and
like
popular.
Tenet.
And
Like Tenet just felt like he
successful.
was like, oh yeah, people are gonna have to think about this so hard.
So this caused
sounds
some-
like Cory was confused.
Tenet did cause some major arguments between
It's
me and my girlfriend.
fucking Tenay.
No, it's not. Actually, Tenet wasn't that bad. It was Arrival was the bad one.
Arrival was fine. It wasn't bad, but it was a little
No,
rough.
no. I really liked Arrival.
Oh, you did?
My girlfriend did not like it, first of all. And
Really?
was upset that I liked it so much, and then was upset when I was trying to explain the movie to her.
Did we transition from Christopher Nolan movies to confusing movies? Because Christopher Nolan didn't have anything to do with Arrival, right?
That's correct. Yeah, I was talking about Tenet and how it can be kind of confusing, and then
It's a very similar movie.
I see. Okay.
It has the same kind of vibe.
I was not tracking, but I'm with you now.
You know what other movie kind of went off the rails? Was it Annihilation? Is that what it was called with Natalie Portman?
I think it was this podcast.
Aha.
Woo!
But was it Annihilation? Is that what the movie was called?
Annihilation was okay.
What are you talking? I don't know what this movie is.
So there's like a void or something that like pops up. It's like an interdimensional thing or something.
I hardly remember it.
The end of it was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
And she ends up like killing herself or something at the end of it. I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
But I remember being very confused as the movie went on.
My mental state at the time probably confused me more.
Probably fair.
Are you, Robert, old enough to remember Siskel and Ebert?
No.
That means you're not either, right?
He's
Absolutely
definitely not. I definitely am.
So what about Ebert and Roper?
The movie
You're just making up words.
reviewer people?
Yes.
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 Thank
Oh.
you.
Okay.
So you know Ebert and Roper.
Yes.
Do you know that before Ebert and Roper it was Siskel and Ebert?
I did not.
Yeah, there was a tall, bald one and a short, fat one.
Okay.
I feel like we're just Siskel and just a bunch of Siskel and Eberts. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Oh, okay.
Are they just as dumb as we are about everything?
No.
Honestly,
They're prestigious.
They're very like kind of snooty, like movie.
So it's the
review
good
people.
version of this.
I mean, kind of.
Okay.
So basically, Ebert didn't like anything if there weren't boobs in it, is what it felt like.
Ah.
He's like, oh, this was great. Like, Showgirls, 2 thumbs up. Like, buddy, Showgirls sucks.
Hey, easy.
What's that one with Mark Wahlberg? With the
Where he's a superstar. That's another prosthetic dick one.
yeah, that thing was fucking massive.
Talking
Thank
about
God.
Boogie
Boogie
Nights.
Nights.
Yeah.
Boogie Nights. Yeah,
Red Rocket was also prosthetic.
yeah. No, you've seen Boogie Nights, right?
No.
No. So
You are a superstar.
fucking spoiler alert, but the last shot is him. His name is Dirk Diggler, I think, in the movie.
Yeah.
That's his porn star name.
That's
and
great.
The last shot is just him looking in a mirror and just taking down his towel. And it's this like 13-inch massive fucking cock that comes out. It like goes down to his fucking knee.
So the other day, me and Rob were, I don't know, I think I like got off work, I just went over to his house and he randomly like sparked this memory in Rob's brain when he was a kid. It was like the first time he like ever like drank or smoked or anything. And he was like really, really young. And the story's pretty great.
So it was July 4th, and I think I was like 14 or 15. And for those that don't know, if your parents are split up, generally speaking, or in my case anyways, maybe it's not a generally speaking thing, but my mom, lived across the country. My dad lived on the other side. And during the summer months, I would go see my dad for a couple months. And, as some of you may know, our Patreon subscribers, that's how the Forbidden Technique was spawned, because of one of the summer camps. But at this point, I guess I was, I don't know, too old for summer camp, or I didn't go to summer camp this year for whatever reason. So
You went to Father's summer camp.
I went to Father's summer camp. Yeah. So I worked with my dad for a little bit, like
Labor camp.
yeah, labor camp. But I did, work with him at the office and everything. And for July 4th, we went to see some of his friends in some cabin up on a mountain in North Carolina. And again, it was kind of a fish out of water kind of thing, where it was just very different compared to what I was used to.
How old were you?
I was like 14 or 15.
Okay.
And so it's like my dad meeting up with like his friends, and his friends had like, sons and daughters, but they were like older. Like they were in their like mid-20s, and I'm like 14 or 15. But, nowadays I'm like 6'4", and when I was 14 or 15, I was like 6'2".
Oh.
Yeah.
Big boy.
Yeah. So I kind of looked the part. Like I looked like I was like 18 or 19.
Yeah.
So we go through this whole thing, and it's pretty normal. I introduce myself to everyone, or my dad introduces me, I guess. And it's fine. We eat dinner, and it rapidly becomes like this big community thing. There's like 60 people at this thing.
Jesus.
And it's all in like a barn, and there's like big picnic tables, and everyone made food and brought it. And so it's a good time. Well, we get to after dinner, and my dad gives me like this like chocolate milkshake looking thing, and I'm like, sweet dessert. And I take a sip, and it is clearly very alcoholic, and I'm like, I don't drink because I'm 14.
Right.
What's going on here? So he's like, it's cool, man. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. So I drank like one entire thing, and I was, feeling great. It was a great time. And all of a sudden there's like a band that's supposed to play, and they're supposed to play like folk music, and they're getting lined up, but then they're like, oh, we forgot we don't have our guitarist. And at the time I was playing like guitar a lot, and my dad was like, hey, he knows how to play guitar. They're like, yeah, let's have him do it. And I was like, no, I don't know any folk music. Absolutely not. And they were like, do you know these 4 chords? And I was like, yeah, but I'm still not doing that. So my dad is like, roger that. Gets me another one of these like fucking chocolate mudslide things, and is just feeding me drinks.
This sounds like child abuse.
Yeah, eventually Rob's like, fuck yeah, I can do that.
That's exactly what happened. It was like 3
It's like
deep.
real life.
Yeah.
We just feed him drinks until he tells us the forbidden technique story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's obviously what's happened. Like, this is what's molded me. So, I
feel like we're unlocking some doors.
Yeah. Some windows into what's happened to me. But so I get up there, I grab the guitar. They're like, all right, it's this chord, this chord, this chord. It's arpeggiated, whatever. And I'm like, okay, got it. And
Way to just fucking throw arpeggiated out there.
yeah.
It was very casual and smooth.
That's a guitar word.
A+.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, I understand. You take the lead. I'll jump in. So
Dilly.
yeah. So, we go through this. I play. Everyone's clapping and cheering. It's a good time. I didn't actually do that well. I think I fucked up a couple chord changes, whatever. But regardless, the people that were in the band, thing were the people that were my dad's friends, like sons and daughters. So we go, we stay there for the night, and at nighttime, my dad at like 7:00 was like, all right, I'm going to go to the adult cabin now. You have fun. And I'm like, what do you mean? Because I'm like 14 or 15,
Yeah.
and I'm like surrounded by people that are in their 20s. And I was like, I don't know how to operate.
Wonder what happened in the adult cabin.
Probably just a full-on orgy.
This was also the same time that my stepmom at the time, who my dad's no longer with, accidentally let it slip that my dad was cheating on my mom for like a year and a half.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah. My stepmom was like, oh, your father and I dated for 2 years before we get married. And my mom and him got divorced. And then like 9 months later, they were married. He was remarried.
Oof.
Yeah.
And you were like, hey.
Yeah, I was like doing the math in my head, like, hey,
This doesn't add up.
yeah.
Was it drunk Rob doing the math?
It was some kind of Rob. I don't know.
If it was drunk Rob, I can just imagine you looking like Winona Ryder up on the stage, just like.
Yeah, it's pretty much what it was.
Did you bring someone up on stage and piss on their face?
Not quite.
Not quite. Okay.
Not quite
I
so
wasn't-
furious.
Yeah, I wasn't that drunk. So, anyways, I'm staying at the young adult cabin, I guess, with all these people in their 20s, and I'm just trying to like blend in. So
Right.
they're taking shots. I'm like,
And you're still the
I'm
tallest
taking
person in the
shots.
room.
yeah. They're like, do you like Maker's Mark? And of course I was like, fuck yeah. I didn't know what Maker's Mark was. So, after all of this delinquency, they're like, we're playing chess. They're breaking out joints. And I was like, this is bad. I'm in a bad place. They have hard drugs here.
This is the moment at a party where I hide in the bathroom because I'm too fucked up and everyone's going to know.
Yeah.
I'm just like scared.
And
It's happened in a few years, but remember those moments.
they're like, hey, do you want to hit this? And I was like trying to be cool, so I was like, fuck yeah. But just like Bill Clinton, I did not inhale. So, it didn't do a whole lot for me, but the alcohol certainly did. And, I was like, hey man, I'm in foreign lands. I don't have a connect here. Can I buy some of this off of you? He gave me like a quarter of weed for nothing. He was like, here you go, buddy. Enjoy.
A quarter of a weed?
Thanks for playing guitar.
Yeah, that's basically what it was. He paid me in weed.
Guys with guitars get anything they want.
Yeah, that's what happens. But anyways, that was really the first. It was really the first time I was ever like drunk when I was like 14. So, long story short, parents out there, make sure you start them young. Worked out great for me. The Appleboys do not condone of underage drinking.
Man, what is wrong with you guys? Like, specifically you. You just don't respond at all. You're like,
Josh is just thinking in his head about how much he's going to have to cut from that story. It's like, God damn it, this was going to be an easy episode to edit. I guess fucking not.
Episode.
Yep. Mike Tyson on the mic.
I was actually thinking about how we close out the show if somebody else is going to be the one that says, check out our website at appleboys.us. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter at appleboyspod.
Well,
And as always,
Happy tonight.
well, I mean, the great point is that we don't actually have to do that.
can we just roll the outro now?
No, that's what I was saying. Like, I don't know how to close it out if we're not going to do that.
I mean, you said all the things. We can just roll it now, right?
We can roll it now.
Let's
I
just
will
fucking-
say, appleboys.us, redesigned, faster, better, harder, stronger. You can now subscribe directly on the website instead of through Patreon. Patreon's still there. You can still sign up on Patreon if you want. Thank you guys for joining us. Happy tonight.
happy tonight.
Happy tonight.
Happy tonight.
Appleboys.us.
You've been listening to the Appleboys podcast. I know. We're badass. We hope you enjoyed the show. Make sure to like, rate, and review. Thank you for listening, especially premium subscribers. We'll be back soon. But in the meantime, hook up with us on Discord at discord.gg/Appleboys, on the website at appleboys.us, and Twitter and Facebook at appleboyspod. Happy tonight.